This is Gerald Johan van Waas, an educational channel of demonstrations regarding the explanation of how letters direct you into directions that are intended. These intentions are also in a logical order, just like the letters can be put into a logical order, which is a numerological order, which follows this numerical order with its own behaviorism. This numerological order also has an order in the dimensions, which I could also follow to a certain degree and show the explanations why they also following the same logic as it is built up in logic, in mathematics, in dimensions. It's all built up in a similar way. It's a way how to come to a solution to leave the limitations of a certain frame within time and space. So it's always getting a bigger frame. The last couple of videos I almost had all the letters in a row in the system. These are the last letters. I will not make it too complicated. The letters and sounds are in the last level of complexity. The biggest complexity, it means the biggest effort that it needs from you to change something. So the starting point that you have is not enough. You should have involved some elements that can widen your perspective. In the latest video I took the element of the unknown and I added the element of the unknown, and when I calculated it, I say, okay, there's still a part that I don't know, but I can still already describe it. And here are the next letters that will be added there as well, and these are the changing perspective. You have to change your perspective slightly so that it will fit. And it already didn't fit in our world from a direct communications with the other person. We tried our best and we do our best so hard and missed all the things that were unknown. So luckily we had a way to adapt the unknown elements in three extra dimensions that involved the areas that didn't find a perspective in our 3D plus 3D perspective of space and time. So these are the next moments that points that we have. Okay, we also deal with that point. It's a slightly independent, but this independency has also a way of directing us. So it's not just a point that we say, okay, this point is also there. It has no real function within the spatial frame and time frame. Yes, it has a function. It has a function of reorganization. We miss something in our general view and we have to add something. Already in the case of the G, Q and V, we had to realize that our world of perspectives in space and time were limited. So sometimes it is necessary to broaden the perspective, to broaden actually the space of your thought frame. It has a limited space, you have to widen it. And that's an easy message, that you simply say, widen your perspective. There's a bigger world than the world that you are using. The world is bigger. It has a bigger perspective. The world is much larger. This is the enlargement that you need to come to correct perspective. The H is expressing exactly that. It's expressing it and adds an extra spatial frame. It widens your usual frame, and so you have to reframe everything from that point on. Words. The same thing happens with the R. You have already a communication between two persons. It is the sum of all your talents, of your whole space, your timing. We have the best couple of timings and schedules ready, but they are not enough. Sometimes we are part of a bigger structure of references, of intercommunications that we're not even aware of and also can't even imagine. Some of these perspectives of interactions are, for instance, from the intercommunication between the sun and the plants. There is a rhythm that is followed, and these rhythms, you cannot immediately see them in the rhythm of the plant. You cannot see them immediately in the rhythm of the sun, but there is a rhythm that is followed. You can follow the trace, of course. You can follow the trace. You have to open up your spatial frame in which you can see from where to where these structures are followed. With R, it's mostly the timing, the time frames that you have to widen up. That it's much further than what is immediately within your reach in the direct communication. The communications involve a larger structure of timings. This is the R. The R are interconnected with larger structures. And now we have as an extra letter, the letter S. The S is it is related with the maximum borders what you have as a range of communication in general, and even with this within this enlarged frame of possibilities, there's an intercommunication that also works, even if you don't understand it. This is the effect, this is the real effect of communications. You don't see the communications as a sum of what I think, what you think, and what we think. No, there is an interaction that is going beyond that, and this interaction is involved in this wider space of a time and spatial frame that you don't immediately see within your interactive communication frame. It's going beyond that. That's the letter S. It describes that. That's where the letter is meant for. And then I almost forgot, because this is the S was really the edges of the full frame. What is still within the frame, what is still within the range of the full system, is of course the context of the full system, and it is a context which works on its own. It's the letter E, which says actually that there are interactions within the whole system possible that are not even needed in an intercommunication between two people and say like, okay, we will define the frame ourselves and we will try to find the communication. Now this is a communication which does work. It's there, it's potential there, its potential to work because it works is the letter E. It's just something which is, it is because it is working in general everywhere in intercommunication, and you don't have to worry anymore in that case. While there was a constant struggle in the first three in the first degree of orientation in the spatial frame of the 3 dimensions, constant effort that you had to make and constant conflict actually, which was solved somewhat by the direct timing, but even depending on the timing the whole way, this is no longer depending on anything. It is there, you can use it, it's there, and that's why the E is for. As a last, these were actually all the letters that were still within the frame of a numerological order of that you could associate and could understand the directions that were involved in it. There are only 2 letters which were not involved. No, there were 2 positions, that were not involved in the system as of letters, because they are not letters, they are sounds, and these sounds still fit within the structure of this logic. but it's just sounds. And why they are not letters? Because they are sounds that also put you away from the whole system. It's almost like saying, okay, we're working with the system. Why are we working with this system? You don't need this system very well. There are things that work as they do, and the first sound is still using the structure that we have, the whole structure and all the elements and all the placements, the timing, the deviations, what is different, what is unknown, all the things that are possible can be used, but in the sound he, they use it in a way like they are free. It's unexpected. It's actually not even meant for it. Here you see the other is placed on a place where it's not even seen. It should not even be there, but it can connect it. It can connect it within this space, and you see this connection. You understand this connection. It's in the logic of the system, and that's funny because it shouldn't be like that, but it still works like that. It is like that. That's the essence of humor, is making connections which actually shouldn't be there, and that's unexpected frame that you get there is humorous. It's the sound he. And the last letter combination, the last sound that you have is actually breaking away from the system. It actually says you don't need a system at all. And that's the sound huh. Huh actually says no, there is a connection, simply because there is a connection. Oh, there is no connection at all. Just don't overthink it. That's actually the most wise sound, or most stupid sound that you can make. It's the same thing. It just depends how you use it. That's when you overdo everything. This is the best sound to fall back upon on the last edges of the working system, how it is. It's not even using the system anymore, and it still works. And that's how the letter combinations, how they should work. They should work instinctively. Make the connections instinctively. When you're making a dance and you can move to the right or the left and you adapt, you don't have to think about it. It goes automatically. It goes instinctively, and that's where you should land at the end within the whole system. Even if you learn it, that's how it should go. You make the connection, and you know you have the connection. Even if you cannot explain it afterwards anymore, it's not making up something. No, you just do what it is. It is going beyond the system, and it is breaching the system. And in a way, it is the system. It fits within the system. All at the same time, it's going. That's the last sound. With all of its aspects explained more or less. That's much more. You don't really need as in the logic of the whole system. I didn't explain the dimensions. I said this would go too far. I'm not even sure if I understand these last three ones well, but I will try to go back to it someday or another. Not now. This was enough for now. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. There's a website where you have a list of demonstrations, the theories, but also the word demonstrations. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you like, and keep yourself updated. I will have more demonstrations soon. Thank you very much. Bye bye.